Welcome back, trainers. So, Gen 5 is out, and well, I'm going to have to do what I'm supposed to do, and that is go out there and catch them, and then power them up, and try them out and see how well they perform. And since we do have PvP, I'm going to be testing them out in PvP. We're going to be going for Pignite, and then for Zweilous, which is an evolution from the basic stage Deino here, in which you can only hatch these currently, I do believe. And I can't believe I hatched this. Pretty amazing. It kind of makes up for me almost maybe not finding a shiny Mewtwo today after doing about 17. I guess that's not so bad. So if you're still a little bit confused as to which Gen 5 Pokemon you are going to be able to find where specifically, let's go ahead and go over that now. So in the wild, you can find Snivy, Tepig, Oshawott, Patrat, Lillipup, Purloin, Pidove, and Blitzel, in which you're going to be able to find yourself possibly a shiny Patrat and Lillipup. For the 2-kilometer eggs, you do have Patrat, Lillipup, Purloin, and Pidove, with the possibility of 2 of those being shiny there. That's regarding Gen 5. That's not what's all hatching out of the 2-kilometer eggs. And then for the 10-kilometer eggs, we have Ferroseed, Clank, Litwick, Grotle, and then Deino, in which I was lucky enough to hatch that Deino. Now I just need a Litwick because Chandelure is an absolutely amazing Pokemon like we've been over. It is going to be the top fire attacker. It's very fragile, as well as the top ghost type attackers. Not, Giratina is still going to have the tankiness over it, but, with that aside, being a fragile glass cannon is still going to be quite amazing. And then out of the 5-kilometer eggs, we do have Snivy, Tepig, Oshawott, Blitzel, Drillburt, and Fungus. As far as the raids, you do have Patrat, Lillipup, and Clank cannot be found in the wild, only hatched out of eggs from the 10-kilometer as well as doing the raid. And then for those regionals, as you can see here. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at a few Gen 5 Dex entries. Not the most exciting thing around, but still new Pokemon entered into that Pokedex, so I thought I'd show you guys here for the people who are not able to get out, or for whatever reasons. New Gen 5 Pokemon, let's go. And then we're going to get into that Deino evolution into Zweilous. I'm going to be powering up Zweilous as well as purchasing that secondary move. Quite steep, even at its basic stage. 75,000 Stardust and 75 candies. I did put rare candies into that, if you're wondering, because I get that question, like, how did you do this? Well, there's a thing called rare candies, and I save them up for these specific reasons. And there is that evolution, which we will be taking a look at here in just a minute. But first, we have one more Gen 5 Dex entry to take a look at, and that is going to be Tepig. So I did find quite a few of them. Funny enough, there was 3 little piggies in a park, and I caught all 3 of them. So like I said, we will be evolving one of these into Pignite for PvP, purchasing that secondary move, and then powering it up to around 1500. So there we have the Dex entry, very nice. And then we're going to be taking a look at Deino into Zweilous. Now if you're thinking, well, usually you power things up and completely max them out and evolve them all the way up to their last stage when they're first released and test them up against gyms and raids, right? Why aren't you doing that with Hydreigon? As much as I would love that as my buddy, and it's really tempting, I'm going to test out Zweilous first in the PvP mode because it's just so good. As you're going to see, Dragon Breath, Dark Pulse, and Body Slam is just amazing. It does perform pretty well, although it can be caught up in some pretty bad situations. Regarding Charm, absolutely devastating it, being a Dark and Dragon type. Both of those weak to Fairy, so Charm is going to rip through it, as we will take a look at here. So let's discuss Pignite here. So this is going to be a Fire and Fighting type with a max CP of 1924, attack 173, defense 107, and stamina 207. So the stamina is okay, and the attack is decent as well. The defense is not so much up there. Taking a look at the weaknesses, it's going to be weak to Flying, Ground, Psychic, and Water, resisting Bug, Dark, Fire, Grass, Ice, and Steel types. So yeah, I thought I'd just power this up, seeing that it is already at 1280. Might as well go the distance, invest the rest of the rare candy, and then purchase that secondary move. As far as the charge moves, it does have Flame Wheel, Flamethrower, and Rock Tomb. Rock Tomb is going to be nice for a bit of flying coverage to take those out if you were able to get that energy up on time. And then I'm going to be going with Flame Wheel for the fire charge move instead of Flamethrower for PvP. So there you have it. As far as Embror, you don't really want to be maxing a bunch of these out currently. There's way better fighting and fire types at the moment. So moving on to the star of the show here, Zweilous. So I was deeply contemplating whether or not I should evolve it all the way up into Hydreigon, but I just wanted to test it out for PvP. I might do that in the future. We'll just see. So this thing is going to be a Dark and Dragon type, max CP 1839, attack 159, defense 135, and stamina 176. It's going to be weak to Bug, Dragon, 4 times weak to Fairy, weak to Fighting, and Ice, so quite a bit of weaknesses, unfortunately. Resisting Psychic, Dark, Electric, Fire, Ghost, Grass, and Water, so it does have a decent amount of resistances on its side as well, but that weakness to Fairy is going to be devastating. We'll be looking at that here in just a moment. So I did enjoy the performance in PvP. It worked magnificently, and I'm happy with this investment. It is day 1, and I do, like I said, probably going to evolve it into Hydreigon very soon. So the quick moves that it can learn are going to be Bite and Dragon Breath. The charge moves are going to be Dragon Pulse, Dark Pulse, and Body Slam. Body Slam is pretty decent. I liked it in the performance, as well as Dark Pulse doing massive damage, as you're going to see going up against a defense form Deoxys. Pretty awesome stuff. All right, so we're just about there. Now we just need to purchase that secondary move, 75,000 Stardust and 75 candies. That kind of hurt a little bit, but then again, I've been waiting for this, so whatever. It's all good. So there we go, completely done. Don't you love how they attack each other's heads back and forth there? Really great design. So let's go ahead and check out these first matches. Big shout out to Havoc Bandit, aka Pop Punk Spice. Much appreciated for the battles here. So I do have pretty good, leads and matchups for these battles going up against him. As you'll see for the next trainer, that's not so much the case. And then you're going to see the downside of these Pokemon here. So starting it off with the Azumarill, I wanted to protect the Zweilous from its weaknesses, and well, Azumarill is going to be protecting it from quite a bit of those weaknesses that it does have. So I did start it off with this. Seeing that I did tweet out a picture of my Zweilous, he probably thought I was going in there with it. Maybe, maybe not. But anyways, we're just doing the whole Altaria versus Azumarill thing. Now, this is my chance. Here we go, Zweilous. Let's see what we have. So I'm definitely going to be blocking this. Seeing I would be resisting Psycho Boost, but I didn't know it was coming out, and I wanted to protect it as much as I can. Hit it with Dark Pulse. No more shields. And it takes it out. I did have to do another Dragon Breath, so yeah, that's pretty good. Yes, it's super effective, but yeah, it also has Dragon Breath. Let's go. So this is not going to be very effective, both the Dragon Breath and the Body Slam. So I could have went for the Dark Pulse, but I didn't because I thought he was going to hit me with the Sky Attack there, in which, as you can see, it's ready to go. I do bring in Pignite, and yeah, he hits me with Flash Cannon, maybe expecting my Azumarill. So if he did hit me with Sky Attack, I'm pretty sure that would have almost one-shotted me being a part flying. So down goes the Altaria, and we are going to be taking out that Skarmory with the Azumarill. Yay, Azumarill. This thing. Pignite comes in and finishes it off with a couple of Embers. Starting it off the next match, going in there with Skarmory. He's starting it off with Hypno. So I'm not too sure if he has... I should have asked him. I think he has only one move on this, maybe. It might have been Shadow Ball. So I am just going to stay in the fight here. Going to go ahead and go for Sky Attack. Hit an excellent there. And we're just going to, I do believe I just take this hit. Shadow Ball. All right. He did tell me, he wasn't really prepared. These were just test battles. So I may be seeming like a tryhard like I usually do. But yeah, I should have kind of just been more casual. So he starts it off. Well, he's going in there with the Swampert, and I'm going in there with the Bronzong. Now, I was expecting an Earthquake, so I did shield that up. And then we're going to retaliate with a Psyshock, and he's going to be blocking that up. And we're going to, I do believe, take this hit here. I was trying to switch into Zweilous, but I was too slow there to absorb the Hydro Cannon. So let's see how well it can take that. Seeing that it does resist water, pretty decent. All right, we take it out with Dragon Breath. In comes Bastiodon. Very interesting. Let's see how this Dark Pulse does hold up against it. Taking off a decent chunk from that Bastiodon. And then I'm able to get to another one here. Very nice. Let's see. We are able to chip away at the Bastiodon pretty well without any shields on that end. So Zweilous is looking pretty good. This is a very close match here. Luckily, I do have one more shield. And I will be able to get off that Psyshock. And I kind of just miss a bunch. I didn't really... It just needed a little tap on the Bastiodon, and it was done there. So moving on to the third round, starting it off with Drapion here. So this is, it's not a good situation. It's not horrible. If I can get this through here, let's see, and we do, very nice. But as you can see, the Dragon Breath is just tearing through me. So I did decide to shield bait him, and let's see if he does. He shields up, very good. I didn't want to use a shield on my Drapion here. Just gonna let it go down. Now I wanted to go in here with my Zweilous. I think I do. Yeah, let's see. He switches, but I was able to take a good chunk off before he did. Going into Bastiodon here, and then I'll be switching into my Swampert. So the Swampert's gonna pretty much win, right? I don't have Earthquake, but the Hydro Cannons, as you can see, are still doing a lot of damage here. So I do shield that up just because I wanted to preserve the health a little bit. Wanted to farm as much as I possibly can, being the tryhard over here, as you can see. He brings in a Azumarill, so that's not going to do much. But, haha, tricky. I do have Sludge Bomb, which is super effective. Oh, that hurt. Sorry, bud. I know, I'm just being a Swampert user over here. Anyways, in comes the Altaria, and yeah, we could just go for the Hydro Cannons because its health is so low at this point. I kind of wanted to switch into my Zweilous and finish it off like that, but unfortunately I was able to finish it off with that. So on to the next match, a friend of mine here. So actually I was going to go with Azumarill, Zweilous, and Pignite, but I don't know, for some reason I accidentally picked the useless Lapras. It's useless because it's not PvP ready whatsoever. So that ruined everything, but this is a good little matchup here. We have Zweilous against Umbreon, so let's see. The Snarls aren't going to be doing very much damage, seeing that I'm Dark type. I was expecting Last Resort, but hoping for a Dark move to resist, but I did get hit for a decent amount of damage here. So the Zweilous can hold up against Umbreon fairly well. That's very nice to know there. In comes the Tepig into a Confusion user. What was I thinking? Well, I don't know. I just switched into it and it was a horrible idea. And it does not take Confusion well, and we all know that now. Not that we needed that, particular matchup to figure that out. And in comes the Lapras, the one that's, I don't even know how I accidentally picked this one. I need to delete the Laprases because I have so many from that raid day still, and it's just awful. And whenever I do random battles with people, meaning that going in with the recommended team, it usually picks a bunch of Lapras for me. I need to get rid of them. Then comes a Zweilous, but we can't win this game anymore, so that's going to be a good one there. Now we're going to see it going up against a Charm user here in just a moment, so you will be able to know how fast it is going to faint out. We have an Umbreon versus the Togekiss. In comes the Steelix on that amazing switch for me to get that Ice Beam onto it, which she did not have to shield. Very nice. In comes my Pignite, and we're doing good damage to the Steelix, and I get it. I wouldn't say greedy, but I hoard quite a bit of energy there. I should have went for Flame Charge onto the Togekiss, seeing that it would have been neutral. Knowing that I probably would have had this Rock Tomb, he shielded up, or just wanting to preserve it, knowing that my Zweilous was in the back, and he knew I was testing it out, possibly. In comes my Azumarill. Yay, the Azumarill. Just going to, do the Azumarill thing, right? Going to go ahead and go for Ice Beam here. Of course, he shields it up, and I'm doomed at this point. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4 charms, and it's out of there. All right. Well, it's because it's so weak to charm. It's not horrible or nothing. So, anyways, going into the next match, starting it off with Drapion against Typhlosion. This is a good matchup for me. Definitely going to have to shield those Blast Burns, hoarding energy a bit here, so we can kind of possibly back-to-back with the Aqua Tail. So we're going to go ahead and go for that first one. And he does shield that up. And then we're going to hit that second one here. Hopefully he uses a shield, and he doesn't. That's unfortunate. I do believe he is ready for that Blast Burn. Pretty sure, obviously. Hitting that up. Do shield it up. And we're going for that Aqua Tail yet again. He does have a shield, and he lets it go through, though. In comes Vigoroth. So this is not good. Counter is going to be doing a decent amount of damage to my Vigoroth, as well as that Body Slam. And he does take it fairly nice. And we are simply just going to take it like a champ. Now I go in here with my Venusaur, and at this point, I looked at my shields. I was like, did I use 2 shields on my Drapion? Why did I use 2 shields on my Drapion? So, not good at all. Venusaur is great, but in this situation here, it's going to get body slammed out, unfortunately. And then the Zweilous is going to have to come in and take super effective damage from counter. Ouch. So not much there. And he's going to be basically finishing me off. So I hope you enjoy those little test battles using some Gen 5 Pokemon. Pretty interesting stuff, and I'm really enjoying Zweilous for sure. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up, share it with your friends, and let everybody know Gen 5 is out because they're actually pretty good Pokemon. This is very exciting, not your typical Pidgey release or Pidove and all that stuff. We have some nice Pokemon. Thank you for watching, trainers, and I'll be catching you all next time. Take care.